Even decades after Joe Budden's smash hit Pump It Up, he still finds himself getting mocked and made fun of for being a one-hit wonder.
I should have brought Joe Budden up here and let him do Pump It Up one time tonight.
Some of the digs and jokes from people like Drake are pretty funny, but what if I told you that Joe Budden actually has a competitive, lucrative advantage over 95% of the music business with the Pump It Up record? What if I told you that Joe Budden actually struck gold when he made that record? In this video, we're going to explore all that. Please feel free to subscribe. Now let's dig in. On March 24, 2003, Joe Budden dropped Pump It Up. It didn't do insane numbers on the charts. In fact, it only peaked at number 38 on the Billboard Top 100, but it definitely made an impact and went on to be nominated for a Hip Hop Grammy for Best Solo Performance, but lost to Eminem's Lose Yourself. But that award really didn't matter because it was solidified that Joe had an absolute banger. This record was everywhere. Every DJ played it. Every radio station played it. Every sporting event, stadium, arena, no matter where you went, you would hear this record. It went on to make cameos in movies, TV shows, video games, commercials. Pump It Up was fucking everywhere. Joe Budden didn't just have a hit, he had a fucking smash. Now, it's very important that we make the distinction between a hit and a smash. A hit record is a record that's hot for the moment. It's here for 2, maybe 3 years tops, and then you really don't hear it much after. A smash, however, is a record that stands the test of time. It supersedes the status of a hit by lasting for decades or generations. Let's break it down a little bit further. Here's an example of records that are hits. These records, they're cool, but in 10 years, do you guys really think they'll be around? I don't. Now, here are some examples of some smashes. These records are not going anywhere. They'll continue to find a way to stay relevant no matter what. And I'm not saying for one second that newer artists can't achieve these milestones. In fact, here are a few newer records that I do think will be around for years to come. Which artist from the new generation do you feel has a smash hit? Leave it in the comments section below. Many artists will create a hit, but very few will create a smash record that carries on for years and years to come. And this is Joe Budden's first advantage, but I want you guys to watch the video until the very end because I'm going to be explaining what his most competitive edge is over the entire music business with the Pump It Up record.
The Pump It Up will forever haunt him.
Alright, so when it comes to Pump It Up, I highly doubt Joe Budden regrets anything about that record. In 2018, Joe reported that he was still making $18,000 a year off of Pump It Up's royalties.
Yeah, and I'm still paid about $18,000 a year from that.
When you think about this in the grand scheme of things, the record is over 2 decades old. To be making $18,000 a year off this record is actually phenomenal. And more recently, the record has become even more lucrative for Joe. Thanks to apps like Tik Tok, the song has blown up again.
Pump It Up is hotter now than it's ever been before. I want to see all the niggas that laughed at me for 20 years. Nike, TikTok, Kevin Hart, out the wazoo for some shit I did when I was 21.
In Joe's case, he has an even bigger advantage over just about every other artist that exists. Joe has a clause in his record deal that states after 30 years, he owns all the rights to Pump It Up. This is not common in today's contracts when it comes to record deals, but it was more common back in the day. Basically, in about 8 more years, Joe Budden is gonna own all the rights to Pump It Up. And now we circle back to the smash versus hit scenario. If this record were a hit, it wouldn't really matter for Joe because in 30 years this record really wouldn't be relevant. But in this case, Joe has a smash record. The record continues to stay relevant. So in 10 years when Joe owns this record outright, he's going to be making more money off Pump It Up than he ever did before because he's entitled to 100% of the royalties.
You could ever own it outright? Soon, 30-year mark.
You might laugh at Joe Budden's Pump It Up record, but rest assured, Joe Budden will be laughing all the ways to the bank with his Pump It Up record. If you made it this far, I appreciate you watching all the video. Make sure to click this video right here. It's about anti-Semitism and rap. I've spent a lot of time on it. I think you might like it too. And yeah, subscribe to the channel if you like. I'm brand new, so thanks again, guys.